How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? How you getting it in? Body getting it funny. What's going on, people? What's going on, people? It is a day. Another day. Another week called Monday. It was the same day. What's going on, people? You know, it's kind of, I came across this story. It was a little bit more different than something I was kind of like looking into, and it was something I was like, I thought it would be interesting to share with you. And this is about a prisoner, horrifying life as far as being in jail. Now, this woman by the name of Samantha Hill, she was born in 1971, which means she is 45 years old. I don't know what time or what, you know, as far as this year, she'd be 45 years old. And she was praying to God that it would eventually, finally end. You know, she was been incarcerated a lot throughout her lifetime. She actually been incarcerated in and out of jail 20 years of her life. She'd been in and out of prison. And I thought it was really interesting story, you know, as a lifestyle of a transgender woman get locked up inside of jail. And I've talked to you about this, and, you know, I've been to before, as, you know, as far as the trans women being locked up and all the nightmare, horrific things that they go through. Now, she was supposed to be inside of a isolated prison, and she was put inside a prison with a man. But before I go there, I'm going to give you the backstory of it, you know, as far as how it all happened. Okay, she was born to parents that were alcoholics. Now, by her being born as parents of alcoholics around 5, she used to be going over to her uncle's house. Now, uncle was sexually molesting her. And at the end, he would always tell her, you know, that he loved her and everything, and she just thought it was a normal type of thing. She didn't think much into it. That as she got older, around 16 and 17, she realized that she was being molested. But as before 16 and 17, she had found a boy that she liked, and he was around 14 years old, and she had sexually assaulted him. And she thought that it was okay because that's where her uncle did it, and she felt love from him, and she didn't know what was wrong, and she did this to the 14-year-old boy, you know, which assaulted the boy, which you all know that it's rape. And that's only she was used to. She brought it onto him when she found it was wrong. Her parents found out about it, and they put her out on the street eventually. They kicked her out. Now, when she became homeless, you already know the lifestyle of a homeless transsexual woman. She started, you know, doing different things in reference to being on the streets. Now, she got caught inside, you know, got caught for doing, you know, crimes and stuff. She did petty crime, and she had first time inside of jail. It was 8 years, and she was maybe not in jail, but through the 8 years she was inside. She did 8 years in federal prison. That was her first time in prison as far as going into the lifestyle of, you know, being homeless and survival the best way you could. Now, she ended up inside of jail. Of course, that would be the outcome of it when, you know, you're inside of jail and stuff. And once she got inside of jail, that's when the horror began. Now, she was giving isolated prison, you know, that, you know, it was supposed to be just for one person and stuff. But what happened was, she ended up inside a prison in a cell with a Latin King member. Now, the Latin King member didn't exactly know what she was. He thought she was a regular guy, you know, because to me, when I saw her picture like this, I could understand how I think that she was, you know, a natural guy. He didn't know that she was transgender. You know, throughout her life, her time and stuff, you know, she started identifying more as a trans in the community. Now, what happened was, she was inside prison and stuff like that, and she could start sending notes and stuff, because she kind of saw something was going a little bit different between this Latin King member, and she saw something, she started to get a little afraid, because she started noticing signs of, you know, of something coming. Well, what happened was, the guard had sent her a letter, you know, gave her the letter back because she had sent it out to, you know, to the guards, let them know what happened to her. And she sent the letter back, and he saw the letter, and he got the letter from the guard, and he was supposed to hand it to her, which he didn't, and he ended up reading it. He was like, oh, you may be some type of snitch. Then he had to read the letter and say, oh my goodness, you're gay. I didn't know I was inside of a prison cell with a homosexual. And after he found it out, she was like, oh, you know what, I could get out of this. You know, I could let them know that we don't want to be here. You know, I could whip my cell move and stuff. He was like, no, no, no. You're not going nowhere. You're going to stay with me. You're going to be my bitch. You're going to do everything around here that I want you to do. You're going to be doing the cleaning, you're going to do everything, and of course you're going to do the sex work as well. And the thing about it was like, she was like, you know, he started beating her and stuff, you know, beat the person until they can submit to you as far as being your sexual slave inside of prison. Well, it got to the point where he had beat her up so bad that she decided that she wasn't going to have sex with him anymore. So she was like, you know, do whatever you want to do, but I'm not having sex with you anymore. So he beat her so bad, he threw her to the toilet, you know, walls, everything could possibly imagine that abuse could possibly be. She screamed so loud, but the guards and stuff, no one helped her because, you know, they didn't want to get inside of it because it was none of their business. That's the way they used to conduct things, you know, back inside of prison. So what happened was, the next day they got her out of there. Once they got her out of there, they moved her to somewhere else. So after they moved her to somewhere else, she only moved her to another inmate type of, you know, cell, which was during the course of her time. That was in 1998. She was abused once. 2001, she was abused once again there. 2003, she had once again abused. 2010, she was abused 4 times. 2011, she was abused again. 2013, she was abused again. She was also even abused in 2014 in the shower. You know, she got assaulted there as well. You know, and the treatment was really bad and stuff because it had violated, you know, the inmate, you know, rules as far as, you know, being inside a prison. You're not supposed to do violence and stuff, you know, towards that act. So what happened was she filed a lawsuit against them. And I believe through our lawsuit settlement, it required that the federal Bureau of Prison is provide treatment for Hill's gender dysphoria, PTSD, and rape syndrome, as well as pay her $70,000. That's how much she won in her lawsuit. And now she could go to the cell. And now she was assigned to a cellmate with serious consideration. She had access to makeup, normal clothes, hygiene, and all this other stuff as reference to, you know, women's clothes stuff. Since she did the lawsuit and stuff, and it was in Kentucky when it's all, you know, all the smoke has cleared, that, you know, she got all these privileges from a lawsuit. Now she said, which is really weird within the story, she said that once she became in prison, they started treating her better. She could get the hormones, she could get everything that she ever wanted, you know, as far as being a woman and true to herself. She said they found it really sad that you get to prison and everything, all the crimes you did, you can go outside of prison, you get all these, you know, accolades as far as being a woman and getting the medicine and getting the treatment, everything you needed. But they had her in a high air of, you know, security, and she had a psychiatrist that was inside there didn't understand why they had her in such a, you know, high spot for security in reference to the person that she was. They had it documented wrong, and they had told the prison people this right here. That under her reasons that she should not be inside there, you know, because she had explained to them, you know, what it was about. But the psychiatrist, his name is Dr. John Mitchell. He's the chief psychiatrist, and didn't want her in high-end security. This is what it said right here. You see that? So the thing about it was that she had a lot of cards stacked exactly against her. She had people as well as out in there that actually was trying to help her and stuff. And she suffered a nightmare, you know, inside of prison and stuff. And, you know, I just thought it was an interesting story in reference to that. And she was explaining that now she gets all the medicine, everything she needs to get. Once she sued them, they start treating her right. I'm not sure if she's still inside of jail or not. From what I see, you know, she probably still is. She's, to me, when you come in that type of life, it's almost as like you can't really function properly when you're on the outside, because that's all you've been used to, and it's sad. You know, and they were trying to find, you know, what was she doing, you know, as far as, you know, get herself locked up. She came from an abusive family. She was suffering from homelessness. She became a sex worker. She was using drugs. She did crime, theft. She attempted bank robbery to make ends meet. That's what she did. When it happens with people, when you get put on the streets, it's by any means necessary that you have to survive. And I'm saying that what she did was right, but that when you're someone's put on the street now. So I thought it was an interesting story, you know, it references Samantha Hill as far as her life and her living and stuff. And it was just good food for thought, just, you know, it's sad that we have to go to a lawsuit just to finally get treated right. And now they call her woman, they use the right pronouns and everything. She's a woman, everything. They treat her like to the T now, since she sued them for $70,000 and she won. Anyway, that being said, I want to know how you feel about this story. You see her pictures? You know, this is the problem that we're having right now. As far as the transgenders and stuff, people don't really know what transgender is, and people don't know what transgender is because we all don't really look like transgenders. Anyway, the being said, not about discrediting her, but it is a realism thing when it comes down to the transgender thing, and I'm sure you will agree that not all transgender women look like transgender women. Anyway, the being said, I want to hear your feedback on this. I want to say hello, my dogs. Meow. I want to say hello, my kings. I want to say hello, new people, boom. I want to say old people, bam. And I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I want you to do, I want you to do the best with it you can. And nobody likes this fucking story.